Are you there? I can't see you. Okay, I can hear you, but I still can't see you. Can you see me? Just a minute. Tina, I've got a black screen. How do I turn the video on?
Push the button that looks like the video camera, Mama.
Oh, there it is. Can you see me now? Good. All this new technology. You children don't realize what an amazing time you live in. When I was a little girl, we didn't have computers. Well, they had computers, but they were so big that they filled an entire room and had to have huge air conditioners to keep them cool. There were no cell phones, and a regular house phone was connected to the wall with a cord. You couldn't walk around very far and talk at the same time. A lot of televisions were in black and white, not in color. The idea of doing what we are doing now was just an idea that you would see in a movie or TV show like Star Trek. Now, you can make a video and put it up on YouTube, and it can be seen by people all over the world. But that's me, getting off on a rabbit trail. Are you having a good time at the conference? Does anyone know what the conference is called? Take on the world. Right. Sometimes when someone says that you are taking on the world, that can mean that you're standing up for what is right, even if you're standing all by yourself. We do that sometimes, don't we? There are times that we visit friends or maybe even family, and we're the only ones who keep the Sabbath or don't eat unclean foods. So there we are, setting a good example for the world on how we're supposed to live and behave. We're blessed. Yah has given us a whole set of commandments that tell us exactly how to live. And they aren't hard, are they? I think sometimes it's easy to forget what they are. I thought it would be fun to go through them together. I'm going to do a thing called paraphrasing. Paraphrasing is when you take a big, long string of words or ideas and shrink it down to make it easy to remember. The idea is to make it easy to memorize, which is part of having the commandments written on your heart, right? Are you ready? Great. These are pretty special because Yah talks right to us. Okay, so let's talk about the commandments. The first one is, I am Yehovah. You shall have no other gods before me. That's pretty easy. Yah's the top guy in charge. We don't put anyone else first. He's the first, and he's the only. That makes him extra special, and it's important to him that we remember that. Yeshua said that this is one of the greatest commandments we are given. We need to remember it. I am Yehovah. You shall have no other gods before me. Got it? Good. The second one is, don't make any idols and worship them. What's an idol? Well, an idol is an image of something, like a statue or a painting that you worship. Isn't that silly? Can you imagine saying that your teddy bear is the one that made the whole world? That's not right, is it? Teddy bears can't do that. Only Yah can make the world, and he did. So we only worship him. Teddy bears are great for cuddling and listening to and telling our stories, but not for worshiping. Yah is the one that gives us life, so he gets our worship. The third one is, don't take Yah's name in vain. You might want to know what that means. Well, it's pretty simple, really. It means that we don't use his name in a way that it's not to be used. We don't use it for mean things, and we don't use it to be mean to someone else. His name is very, very special. We need to remember how blessed we are that we know it, and that he decided to let us know what it is. It also means that we don't let his name come to nothing, which is like forgetting. We know his name and we're to remember it. When we pray and we use his name, we are to remember that he let us know his name because he loves us and cares about us. That's one of his gifts to us. We have this amazing God who loves us enough to tell us what his name really is. It's kind of like this. When people meet your dad or your mom for the first time, they usually say, "Hello, Mr. Smith," or "Hello, Mrs. Jackson." They don't use their first name because they don't know them all that well. It's not until your dad or your mom says, "Oh, call me David," or "Call me Lisa," that they use their first name. First names are used when two people are friends and know each other. That's the same way with the Father. He tells us his name because he wants to know us and have us be friends. Since he loves us that much, we need to take special care that we use his name nicely. The fourth commandment is one of my favorites, and it's one that a lot of people forget. Do you know what it is? Yep, remember the Sabbath day. The Sabbath is the day that Yah stopped creating and looked around at what he had made and enjoyed it. We set that day aside and make it special because he told us to. It's a day we keep to remember Yah and to rest. Maybe you take a nap or gather together with other believers to pray and study. Maybe you have special food for that day. Nana Torah usually makes a cake, and we eat it while we are reading the Bible together. Did you know that keeping the Sabbath is a sign that we love Yah? Ezekiel 20:12 says, "And I gave them my Sabbath days of rest as a sign between them and me." It was to remind them that I am Yehovah, who had set them apart to be holy. Exodus 31:13 basically says the same thing. So, when we keep the Sabbath, we are setting it up as a sign to the whole world that we are Yah's people and we believe in him. I think that makes the Sabbath one of the most important commandments. I like the next one. Honor your father and your mother. What does that mean? It means to listen to your parents and obey them. If they ask you to do something, it's best to listen and do it the first time they ask. Parents only want what's best for their kids, so usually they have a reason. It also means that when you grow up and your parents are old, that you have to make sure that they are okay and help them if they need it. To honor someone is to treat them as special. Your parents are special, aren't they? I know mine are. Nana and Grandpa Torah are some of my most favorite people in the whole world. I love to honor them. The next one is very serious. It says, you should not murder. That means that you don't kill anyone on purpose to be mean or because you're angry. All life is very special to Yah because he made it. We are supposed to be careful with the lives of others. Then you have the commandment that says, you do not commit adultery. You guys are young, so I'm going to sum it up like this. When you get married, you love the person you married. As long as you are married, you should love that person and be their best friend. If you have any more questions about this commandment, you should talk to your mom or dad or your grandma or grandpa. Sometimes this one can be complicated. Okay, moving on. You do not steal. Who knows what stealing is? Uh-huh. Yep. Stealing is taking something that does not belong to you without asking and having permission, right? Right. Stealing hurts other people. If you have a toy that you really love and someone takes it, doesn't it make you feel sad? That's why we don't steal. Stealing makes other people feel sad. If we want to use something or borrow something, we ask first. If we cannot afford to buy something, we save our money until we can, and we remember that Yah always provides good things for us. He says so. Psalms 84:11 says that Yah will not keep good things from those who walk rightly. Good things will come to us. We don't have to take them from someone else. The next one is super important. Don't bear false witness. Now, what on earth does that mean? Well, it means that we don't say someone did something if they didn't do it. Here's an example. One day, Tommy was doing the dishes and dropped a plate. It hit the floor and smashed into a bunch of little pieces. Tommy was afraid that I would be mad about the broken plate. Tina was playing with her toys close by. Tommy thought for just a minute about saying that Tina broke the plate when she threw a ball. That way he wouldn't get into trouble. But then he thought, what if Tina gets in trouble instead? Throwing a ball in the house is against the rules. What if Mom makes her clean up the mess when she didn't even do it? What if Mom gets mad at Tina? So Tommy decided to tell the truth about the plate. I came in from the yard and Tommy said, Mom, I accidentally dropped a plate. I sighed because I only have so many plates, but I wasn't mad because accidents happen. I asked him to be careful, to not step on any of the sharp pieces, and to get the broom so we could clean it up. No one was in trouble, and Tommy didn't bear false witness against Tina and get her into any possible trouble either. It's simple as this. Never blame someone else for something that they did not do. And then there's the last one. I like to put it this way. Do not covet your neighbor's stuff. Covet is a funny word. Have you ever heard of it before? Well, covet means to take pleasure in for yourself or to desire something for yourself. And in this case, it means to desire for yourself something that does not belong to you. Let's say your best friend gets a new bike for his birthday. It's a beautiful bike, bright red, all shiny with big knobby black tires that can go up a dirt hill like it's nothing. It even has a light so he can ride it at night in the yard. It's the most amazing bike you have ever seen, and you decide you want it. Not a bike like his, but maybe in blue. Nope, you want his bike, the exact bike that he just got for his birthday, and you will do whatever it takes to get it, maybe even break the commandment about stealing. That is coveting something. There's nothing wrong with thinking, hey, that's a really nice bike. I like it. I'm going to ask my mom and dad if maybe I can get one like it for a present. Or maybe I can save some of my money and they will help me buy one. That's okay. But if you say, I want his bike, that exact same bike, and I'm going to get it somehow, that is coveting. And that is wrong.
Mama,
What, honey?
I understand why all the commandments are important. But when we take on the world and stand up for what is right, isn't it scary sometimes? Especially when I'm the only one. Like when I'm at school and there are kids that want to take cookies that don't belong to them, and they want me to do it too. I wouldn't take them, but sometimes it's hard to be different.
Oh, I do get that. Doing what is right can be scary or hard, and sometimes people look at us like we are different. The Bible says that we're a peculiar people. Peculiar means different and unusual, but it's in a good way. Yep, that's us. But doing what is right is what we are called to do because it makes us a light. A light. When we act righteously or do something right, we stand out. Just like if you stood outside in the yard on a dark night with a flashlight. That flashlight is very easy to see, isn't it? You can even see it from clear down the road. Proverbs 6:23 says that the Torah is a light. When we keep the commandments and live Torah, we are in the light and we become a light to the whole world. That's not really all that scary, is it? It's actually really special. Remember that little song you always sing?
Yes, ma'am. I remember. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Exactly. Okay, everyone. Tina and I need to get going. Now remember, keep those commandments. I'm betting you could even memorize them if you tried. Let your light shine bright, and in all things, remember the love.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
I hope you have
See
a
you
good time
later.
at the conference.
Bye.
Push the button, Mama.